Hello bad publicity fans, this is Mark here from Ice Hedge Fund, back again with the Decklist of the Week playthrough. We're looking at DamonFork once again from the big boy. And before I launch into the whole spiel about what makes this deck what it is, I'd like to thank people who contributed comments and feedback to the last video. There was one scenario that arose and I asked people what they thought they would do in that particular scenario. And it's good to get people's insights and thoughts. Definitely will help me evolve and grow my game. And if I find myself in that scenario once again, I should hopefully take the right course of action this time around. So what is DamonFork? Well, the most wanted list kind of gutted the traditional DamonFork deck, but the big boy has thought it necessary and valid to use all that influence on the good Anarch cards. You still have your Faust, but only 2 of them, 2 David, 3 Parasite, you have your Levy still, and Wildside as well. So keeping the core of the deck alive with the Cutlery events, and of course Levy to do it all again once the corp thinks that you've run out of steam. There's 2 Employee Strike here as well, which is very valuable at the moment against controlling the message, and it's also just a good card against some other decks. If Sandberg is about, you're going to see maybe more Blue Sun, try and make a lot of money that way, so at least you can kind of switch off their economic engine. Some other interesting includes are Bagat, because it's nice to have that little bit of HQ pressure, and maybe if you chip away at the ice on the HQ server, you can make it a bit more fragile, and that means you're pressurizing R&D in a way as well without directly doing so. You also have Katie, because without the Fastrobiotics kind of style of deck, it will hopefully have slowed down the game to a point where she can actually be a useful economic engine once again. So without further ado, let's get ourselves into another game. So today we find ourselves up against HB Engineering the Future, and not overly impressed with our opening hand. We prefer some money, some draw, throw it back, and we get some decent stuff. Employee Strike could be annoying for them nice and early because obviously they want to set up by installing cards, getting that free credit. But our first turn I think will be just getting their Liberated and Daily Casts going. So Engineering the Future is one of those decks that this deck is designed to do well against. It tends to be a little bit slower, and of course Bioroid Ice you can destroy it a little easier. Of course that assumes that that's what they're actually doing, so let's not make assumptions too early. Instead we'll just get ourselves a little bit set up, and next turn throw out the I've had worse, see what kind of tools we can get. So we're seeing a lot of operations so far. That could indicate that they're on Jeeves. So I've had worse gets us Mimic, which will allow us to face check a little bit easier. For the moment I think we just build up a little bit more. Try and keep on a par with them money wise, just in case they're on anything fancy. So Mimic and David, good combination to have. And a Parasite to take care of any pesky ice, such as Next, or anything just kind of low strength that could cause us problem over time. Now, are they going for a push? That is the question. I think we just take it easy at the moment. Get this down. We'll get Dave down just in case, and let's take a look at HQ. See what kind of thing we're dealing with. A Turing. Okay. And let's Parasite that, because obviously Faust can't be used against it, and it's low strength, so David can't hit it. Not an Adonis. There we go, there's the G's we were expecting. So first protocol is get in and kill that. Wizard credits will come in handy there. Wow, they're really going to town on that remote server. Alright, let's take a look at server 1, see what kind of thing we're dealing with. Eli, yep, I will click through that. I think it's worthwhile. And we can come back and take out the Eli if necessary as well. And 6 credits. What could all these pieces of ice be? I think we leave it off because this is going to die. R&D will be weak. Grimoire is good. So unless it's a beta test and they hit the best things ever, this shouldn't be so bad for us. And with 6 pieces of ice out already, it seems like it would be a bit of a risk to just go for a beta test blind. So not Jackson. Possibly Ash. So it might be worth poking this next turn. If it's Ichi, we can click through it. And nothing else I'm too concerned with. Turing goes down. And another thing in front of HQ. Alright. So let's take a look at server 2 while they're not too financially stable. Try and put our wizard credits to good use. Eli again. I think we leave it and try and draw for knifed. Wildside's pretty good. Let's take a look at HQ. No, let's set up. So we'll draw and we'll put this down. Should have done the chronotype as well, but we'll get it pretty instantaneously. And we have a sure gamble to use as well, so. Okay, they are going to go for the score. Or are they going to fire it? They've seen 7 pieces of ice? Wow, they are. Okay. How lucky are they going to be? Wow, okay. So 1 piece of ice, but not too bad. As long as they haven't dumped 4 points of agendas, you know, they're not too badly off. Let's get the sure gamble going. We'll get the chronotype. And let's take a look at archives just to see. Okay, we got the Vitruvius and they've binned a shipment. So, trading 2 for 2, not so bad. And I feel we're in a better position. Aside from this pretty secure scoring server, we're not in the worst place in the world. Next turn, get the medium down and start pressurizing here. Is this another Jeeves? Well, we can't get spooned or forked going. So instead, let's medium and put the pressure on that way. Do the classic Anarch, make them spend money if nothing else. Architect's fine. And we got them on 0 credits as well. Jeeves, which we can trash. So I think we do. And we can credit up, run again, which might be the best way to go. See 2 cards. At least we know what we're dealing with now as well. So laundry could be on the cards. Another architect. Alright, some ice that we won't be destroying. Okay, so what have they got elsewhere? Interesting. So we're drawn to some stuff we simply don't need. What are these? I think we take a setup turn and hope that we can get our economy back on track very soon. I don't want to faceplant into like a Victor or Eli. So we're just going to take the guaranteed money. So the Drone Architect and Eli. And Jeeves is back up. So we have to take that out. Again, it's worth the 2 clicks. Would prefer to use the knife on this server. And there is a knifed. So Chancellor, Architect, which means we need to take a credit. Oh no. We'll be down to click through this and use. Could of course be the other Eli, which would be inconvenient, but we can deal with it. And if there is this, R&D becomes more of an option. Could be Cyberdex, but we'll still get to see 3 cards. So double click through Eli. Hopefully no encryption protocol or some madness like that. No, 0 credits, we're safe. And let's just take a credit. Bin these 2. You'd prefer to be using them for Faust, but unfortunately our 2 Faust are yet to arrive. So, next turn, maybe go for this server, just to see what this is. So, knife costs us the 1. Use a David, click through this and see what else they've got in store. Dirty laundry. 2 credits. If we dirty laundry, then run, click. It leaves us in here with room to spare. Yeah. Or do we go HQ? What could HQ be? Could end up kicking myself, but we'll see. Okay. Excellent. So that paid off well, and now we'll take apart server 2. Hopefully we'll draw our spoon soon enough to take out the Turing as well. Next turn, if necessary, we can build up the liberated accounts again and put ourselves in a very strong position. Wrap around. We have another David. The question is, why did they res wrap around? I think we... Yeah, let's go for it. Just a Jackson. Okay. So, 2 Gs coming back. But I mean, we have Levy. We can start taking apart all of the server. No spooned. But let's throw down Bagat instead. Soon. Let's throw it down soon. Do we need Data Sucker? I don't. Maybe. We'll put down the Grimoire anyway, just to make Parasite a little bit more threatening. And makes our Data Sucker better as well. And they finally get a hedge fund off. Still can't find Faust. That's quite annoying. Okay, let's get the Data Sucker down. Let's just prepare for next turn. So next turn we can throw it in Bagat, run HQ, then run Archives if we want. We need to be able to attack click 1, just in case we have to use our David on this piece of ice. because we can click through this. But if they go like ash something, we need to be able to put on the pressure. Even this might be worth going after. Or again, we do the good old anarch, shift their focus, and attack elsewhere. What kind of funny business are they playing? So what is this piece of ice? That is interesting. So they can get the efficiency committee out is the issue. I'd prefer they didn't. If this is another Turing, it does stop us, which is unfortunate. But I think we have to commit here. Because efficiency committee is how you score out as this deck without Jeeves. Here's the Cyberdex. So, Ichi. It is indeed. So they got us. So David goes down, and you'd presume Mimic as well. Yep. And we'll pay the 1 into this because there's no point taking the tag in the brain when you just don't have to. Let's get rid of I've had worse. And the other medium, I think. But again, they can't actually score this. So we just need to get ourselves built back up and good to go. Okay, I was wrong. Shows what I know. So that's... oh, just for Vitruvius. Okay, so... forked. We can click through this if we want. Let's get Bagat and Faust. Let's run HQ. Now, unfortunately, the Vitruvius counter means if we do get a good hit, it's not as relevant. And let's go again. Vikram. So we have the cutlery pieces to do a number on this server. We just have to draw into some breakers or just be willing to use a lot of clicks. Now, this could be an agenda as well. It's actually the safer server right now. Let's deja vu and get mimicked back down. Or we can parasite. Let's parasite this. Because we don't have our spooned. I'd like to play the employee strike, but when is a good time to do so? Possibly now. So let's check it out. Hope that this isn't an agenda. But worst comes to worst, that costs us a credit. Jeeves it is. So we can actually take out 2 of these for 1. If we can get another data sucker. Because then we'll be able to throw a fork down, click through this. Or Deja Vu Mimic, which is probably the better call. Or indeed, only 18 cards left. Okay. Let's see. Gamble, Deja Vu Mimic, install Mimic, run. Except then we could lose an awful lot of pieces that we need. We need these. So maybe just run here instead. Deja Vu install Mimic. Nope, 1 click short. So they are going to get 1 more go at Jeeves. Maybe run here. Again, if nothing else, force the res. Magnet. Ah, that's annoying. Ah, dear. When it works, it is just so good. What I find is when I was using it, I'd be sitting there going, please run R&D, please run R&D, and they wouldn't. Biotic. Well, at least they don't have the money for it. Yet. So, next turn we can parasite again. We'll still need 1 more data sucker though. More if we want to do the forked in the same turn. So we can spooned. This will cost us 4 cards. Let's run HQ. Be funny if it was another magnet. Okay. Ichi. So we're still short of what we need. And this is now looking like an efficiency committee. We can run here, spend two clicks and have just enough. The joys of being wizard. At least if this is efficiency committee, they can't get it just yet. And easy pitch here. Left ourselves quite poor. Is this another Jeeves? They can unfortunately afford to just keep us bouncing between servers. Now that I don't like to see. Hey, look what showed up. So we'll get our David down and we'll get a we can take apart this entire server all at once. We still end up short this time. I want to install a parasite so badly. But where? Either way we can take it out pretty quickly. But this Eli has been particularly annoying. So I think we'll do it there. So we can spend some time milling away here. It's unfortunately expensive, considering we're a little on the poor side at the moment. And Jeeves is back. So we have to move quickly. But we could have a chance here. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what they were hoping to go for. Because they'd have to use multiple operations here. Or they can advance by 3, but they only get 1 click. So how do we go about it? We can use David here. We have the 3 credits for this, and we have enough for this as well. 2 Davids. Gonna be expensive. Or alternatively, of course this is Cyberdex, we get completely blown out. Oh no, they're too poor. Okay, this may be what we have to do. So if we credit up which is more annoying for us. The choring, really. So we need 3 for this, 2 for spooned. So credit, spooned, success. Well, now we credit, chore gamble. Spooned. And tear through all 3. So it took a while for us to get this whole destruction thing going. But we got there in the end. And now we have enough for any PD if necessary. And we can trash anything as well. Let's look at this one first. Perfect. And Ash is also going to die. So Jeeves sticks around another turn. But again, some things may not be out long of this world. Let's run HQ. Run it. Costing 2. Actually, we don't want to risk a Cyberdex. Alrighty. So they're going again. We still have 1 David. So knifed might be the better option. Of course, it could just be Jackson. We do want to take this out. So, there's a lot of things we want to do. And only so many things we can do. And again, don't want this to be Cyberdex. So, forked is the more expensive option. We could knifed immediately, take out the wraparound. We can even use 3 clicks if worst comes to worst. So I think that's what we do. Okay, no action. And do we get rewarded for our trouble? No, we do indeed. Perfect. So unfortunately they got caught out with the shipment play. They were hoping for the advance. I assume get another extra click and be able to shipment. But unfortunately Jeeves isn't a miracle worker. It took us a while to keep on top of the whole ice destruction thing, but we kept them very poor, and for engineering the future that is not what you see very often. Of course, the Jeeves deck tends to run a little bit poorer because it can afford to because of the shipment from Sansan, and things like lateral growth and just being able to click for 4 credits in a turn, which is pretty nice. But if you've not much but if you don't have much ice, it becomes more difficult to keep like Jeeves alive and your agendas, of course, as well. So I hope you all enjoyed, and thank you very much for watching. And if you want to see more, Jinteki.net games and a Netrunner vlog as well, which is something a little bit different, come on over to Ice Hedge Fund for more.